Good morning, Premier Mortgage Resources, esteemed guests and contributors. I am Jack Pritchard, your Master of Ceremonies. Welcome back to Success 2021, Part 3 of our Success Series, Purpose, Passion, and Motivation. 3 important topics, I think more important than most people would consider. Without purpose, we are lost. If you do not know where you are going, all roads will get you there. Without passion and motivation, even the most well-purposed person among us will fail. So the good news for us in attendance today at Success 2021 is that we have a speaker on the agenda that will help us gain and understand our purpose, will help us to gain passion and provide motivation. When you combine these 3 traits together, you have a recipe for success. Now, once again, I'm faced with a challenge. My job as Master of Ceremonies is to open the event, close the event, and introduce famous people. The challenge is I must introduce certain famous people more than once, people that need no introduction. I decided to try a different approach. I will start with the obvious. He's a tremendous husband, father, and recently a new grandfather. His honesty, straightforward communication, and follow through to completion mentality demonstrate his drive to be successful daily. For me personally, his character was demonstrated at introduction. I'm sure that many in the audience work here today because of that very same observation. Yes, he has had success in business. Yes, he's tremendously skilled, experienced, and talented, but that is not why we're excited to hear from him today. He's a problem solver of the complex and the simple, a problem solver of people and personality. His character allows him to show off his special skills every day. It's my pleasure to introduce our managing partner, Mr. Corey Swain.
Wow, thanks, Jack. I appreciate that introduction. So very kind words. Thank you so much. So today I'm so excited to have Rhonda Conger back. Rhonda has spoke with in front of us several times. She's a big PMR fan. She's a personal friend of mine. We just love her to death. We're so excited to have her here today to get us energized in 2021. So without further ado, let's talk about Rhonda's intro. I always love reading this, by the way. Some say she was raised by wolves. Others claim truckers. No matter what her upbringing, this superwoman has flourished in a male-dominated industry for 27 years. As vice president of CBH Homes, Idaho's largest home builder, Rhonda leads the CBH troops daily and has overseen all areas of the company for the past 17 years. Serving others is important to Rhonda. She proudly accepted the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's Chairman's Leadership Award and the St. Luke's Children's Hospital Luke Award. The one accomplishment that tops Rhonda's list is being named 2018 Woman of the Year by the Idaho Business Review. As a businesswoman, professional speaker, and author, Rhonda is on a mission to spread a movement with her 4 books, Better Human, Better Thinking, You Go First, Become the Leader Your Team Needs, and her latest book, Leading You Through Extraordinary Times. It's been rumored that her high energy and passion come from shotgunning Red Bulls daily. But she'll tell you it comes from her incredibly hot husband, Jim Conger, just ask her, and her 2 sons. She thanks the heavens each day for the incredible journey and is so grateful for the opportunity to serve and love all of those that she comes in contact with. Thank you, Rhonda. Can't wait to hear you speak today.
Oh, I can't wait. Thanks, Corey, my brother. We've known each other for so long. And I have to tell you, to get this invite back and to spend time with your crew, I could barely stand myself this morning. I am ready.
Fabulous. Let's get going. So
right.
I want to ask you, about finding your purpose and passion and motivation. You've told us, you kind of hinted about that, but the secret, he said, to find those things is not what we think it is. So why is that?
So I think there's this thought or this myth out there that there's like pixie dust is going to fly in and sprinkle down on you, or someone's going to magically tap you, or something's going to happen outside of you that is just going to like awaken you to this magical instant purpose, passion, and motivation. And I completely disagree. Your purpose, your passion, and your motivation is inside of you. And what I want you to do is to tap into that. I'm going to talk about that a little bit, right? And what does it mean? And what does that look like? And how do you get there daily on the hunt for this purpose, passion, motivation? But when I talk to people, they're like, well, I just keep waiting and I hope I get a break and I hope I get tapped and I hope someone chooses me. And when I get this, or if someone does this for me, I'll be happy. And I'm like, no, you have it all wrong. It's inside of you. It's inside of you. Let's let it out. Like, you have it already inside of you. I know that for a fact. When I, talk to people all over, and when I meet with people, I'm always like, it's there. I can see it. You're just too busy looking outside of yourself and waiting for something outside to happen when truly you already possess it. I'm sure of it.
That's fabulous. So in a business like ours, it's changed so much this last year. How do we stay motivated? How do we find our purpose and our passion daily?
So that is a great question. And I'm going to spend the next 30 minutes trying to walk you through that, Corey Swain, because I have to tell you, it's found in your day. It's found in your habits. It's found in your routines. It's found in what you're listening, what you're watching, who you're hanging with. That's where it's found. And if any of those are off, I guarantee you that you're off. And so I kind of want to bring you back to center and say everything starts with you. So if we get this right, the chances of us winning this day, of loving ourselves, loving what we do, loving everyone that we come in contact with, your odds go through the roof.
Fabulous. Let's do it.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's go. I'm in. I'm ready. As you can tell, I've already had my quota of Red Bull for the day. Just kidding. I don't even need Red Bull. Corey Swain knows that. It's who I am as a human. And I am so excited to hang with PMR today. I asked Corey if I could use your rap name. That's what I call you, PMR. But first things first, I start every single meeting, every single presentation, no matter where I am, here with my team, wherever I am in the United States, the exact same way. So I want to do it with you as well. I heard this story live. Nick Saban, there's nothing like Nick Saban live, I'll tell you that much. And here's the deal. He told the story of the Blue Angels, how every morning the Blue Angels pilots come together as a team, as a group, and they sit around this table as they get ready for their day. And before they start their meeting, they turn to the pilot to the left, they turn the pilot to the right, and they say, "So glad you're here." I tell you this story because I hope that you pick this up. I hope that you're either typing notes up or you're writing something down and that you remember this, right? So tomorrow or today, when you're in a meeting or you're on a Zoom, on a FaceTime, before you start, say, "Hey, so glad you're here," right? Think about your clients and who you're going to serve today. Imagine if they weren't here. Think about that. Right? So I hope that you start with "so glad you're here." How about if you go home tonight to your husband or to your wife and imagine if the first thing that you said as they walked through the door, "So glad you're here." Could you imagine what that would look like? Instead of, "Hey, is dinner ready?" "Hey, what are we eating?" "Hey, did you get that done?" You just said, "Hey, so glad you're here." Imagine the difference. So first things first, so glad you're here. It tells me something about you, by the way, that you're here. It tells me that you want more, that you want to be successful, that you want to learn. So I feel like we're total friends. We could hang out. Hence why, Corey and Mandy and I are such good friends, right? They get me. They get that passion. So as Corey said, I'm going to talk to you about purpose and passion and motivation. And it's not what you think it is. You own it. You possess it. You have it. I just want you to call it forward every day in all things that you do. I'm so excited to kind of unpack this whole thing. I'm going to do 3 things today for you. Are you ready? I kind of always like to do a little agenda. And this is what it's going to look and feel like. Number 1, I'm going to fill your tank. That's why I'm here. I'm going to pull all this energy and I'm just going to I'm going to put it on all of you. And then I'm going to love you up. I think you're amazing. I love what you do. And I'll tell you why here in a minute and why it's so special. So I'm going to love you up. I'm going to give you the best virtual hug you've had today. Guaranteed it. And then I'm going to share kind of my favorite tips and tricks, my hacks on how I go through my days, my weeks, my months, my life to ensure that I'm living my purpose, right? I'm living my passion. I'm motivated. I'm inspired. I jump out of bed. I couldn't even stand myself today, right? I knew I was going to hang with all of you. And I was like, yes. So last week, I asked my sales coaches here at CBH Homes, I said, "Hey, I'm going to speak to PMR next week. And really quick, off the cuff, if you could just tell me 3 things about them or how you feel about them, could you do that for me just so I can kind of get it in my head about PMR?" And obviously we work with Team Mandy. There's big love right there. And here's what they said. Ready for this? Consistently good. What? We're going to talk about that here in a second. They save deals. Can I get a hallelujah, hallelujah, right? And then how about this? Fast. Personally, I would get tattoos. Like those 3 things right there. Because here's the deal. Anyone can be good once. Anyone can be good, maybe 2, maybe 3 times. But at the end of the day, we want someone that's consistently good. And that's also how I feel about all of you and your days. I want you to have consistently good, amazing days. So PMR, all of you, you're doing amazing things. I love that this is how my team feels about you. So well played. Because here's the deal. In the midst of a pandemic, right? Who knew back in March when this hit that home would be the most important thing to all of us? Like it's always been about, we've always wanted the American dream and we've always wanted a home, but who knew that it would just shoot to first place? It would be where we took shelter. It would be the most important things in our lives, where we would work from, we'd have our family, all those things 24/7. So I kind of want you to make sure that you're viewing what you do for a living in the proper manner, right? You helped people get into homes in one of the most extraordinary times in our history. I need you to let that sink in. Don't just think I just did another loan, whatever, I'm so busy, this is crazy. Is that you were changing people's lives in a completely new and different level. You've always done the American dream, but in my opinion, you did this on a completely different level in 2020. Here's what I know though, and I'm going to talk a little bit about COVID because I think I want to make sure that you come with me a little bit and how it had affected your purpose, your passion, and right, your motivation. You had to know there was no playbook for this. So we as a home builder had no clue. We were clueless. We were like, what the hell's going on? I don't get this. Should we shelter in place? We're essential business. Should we keep going? Should we stop? What are the buyers going to do? There was all sorts of emotions. So we came up with our playbook. And our playbook looked like this. We knew we wanted to survive. So congratulations, by the way. If you're still on this video, God bless, right? We also knew that we were going to have to adapt to this new reality, right? Like we have buy online, we have tour now locks, we do virtual appointments. We completely had to change the way we operated our business. And I have no doubt that you did the same. And then we knew that we wanted to advance. We didn't want to stop. We wanted to keep moving forward. And then of course, we wanted to thrive, and boy, did we. I have no doubt that you broke records, right? That you did amazing things in 2020 that you thought weren't even possible, didn't see the train coming, any of it. And then maybe it even got a little overwhelming and a little too much. Like what in the, right? Like all of this coming at you. But here's what I want you to keep in mind. Mr. Rogers, do you remember that guy with the cardigan and like the Keds, tied his shoes every day, put his shoes in the closet, hung up his coat? You know that guy. And if you don't, Google him. So here's the deal, Mr. Rogers. He tells a story of when he was a little boy, and he was probably like 6 or 7, get me close, years old. And he's walking with his mom, and he comes upon a really bad accident. He's fearful. He's scared. He doesn't know what to do. And he turns to his mom and he's like, I don't like this. I don't like what's going on. I'm fearful. What do I do? What do I do? And I loved what she said. And what she said reminds me of all of you, by the way. She said this: look for the doers. Look for the helpers. Look for the positive ones, right? And when I think of that, I'm telling you, I think of all of you in one of the craziest years of our lives, extraordinary year going on, when we were all told to go home. You were helping people with the most important thing in their life. I hope that you keep that front and center. I hope that you understand that I look at you in the mortgage business, I look at us in the home building business, is that we were providing one of the most important things. So if you're looking for purpose and passion, man, I hope you got a whole tank full from 2020, because you did some amazing things in my book, amazing things. Because you got to remember, we need you. Right? I mean, even as this continues on and we keep going, the definition of home, the meaning, the importance has completely changed for us forever. And so I think of that, and I think of all of you. And if you are stuttering or kind of second guessing your purpose and your passion, I want you to stop for just a second and say, hold up, I'm not just doing a mortgage. I'm helping people get into their home, their safe place with their family, maybe their home office, right? The place that they feel happy and secure and loved. Like, I want you to look at it on a completely different thing, because here's what you have to be careful of during this whole COVID. I know everyone's telling you, wash your hands, wear a mask, and they're all tied up in personal hygiene. I'm actually more concerned about your mental hygiene. Don't get me wrong, for the love of God, wash your hands, right? Like, don't stop doing that. I'm not saying that. But here's what I'm saying. So I'm going to read you mental hygiene. Are you ready? The definition: the art of preserving the mind against all the incidents and influences calculated to deteriorate its qualities, right? Impair its energies or derange the movements. So if you think about that, that's kind of what you were under in 2020. You had to worry about your personal hygiene, wash your hands, and then even more so, in my opinion, and we kind of got off track a little bit. And even when it became even more important, you have to watch your mental hygiene. What are you washing it with? What are you putting into it? How are you, right, thinking on a daily basis? What is going on in there? So I'm going to kind of share some things with you. And I kind of did at the end of the year of 2020, I put together a list and I called it the 20 things I learned in 2020, because I learned so much. School was in, and man, was it a journey that I'll never forget. I have a download page for you, and it will be on there for you, but I'm just going to share with you just a couple really quick. So one of them was this: people will lose their minds. Don't be one. Don't lose yours. That was important to me. I saw people handle themselves not appropriately, not amazing, was really hard. And I thought, whoa, don't do that, Rhonda. Don't lose your mind. Don't do that. I also realizes that we needed to stay kind. I needed to stay kind. I needed to stay loving. I needed to stay serving even more. The world needed it even more. The other one I said is that anger and fear are not a winning strategy. If I'm angry, if I'm fearful, we won't win. We won't advance. We won't win. I won't win. I'll spew it on to everyone else. So I dropped the anger and fear. The other one was stop complaining. Stop complaining. It's not an effective strategy. I don't want to hear about it. It's not fixing anything. It's actually making everything worse. And then the last one I'll leave you with out of the 20 was learn, grow, and push back. That's literally what I felt like all of 2020. I needed to keep learning. I needed to keep growing in all areas of my life. And I needed to keep pushing back all the negativity that was coming at me, all the hard things that was coming at me, the media, the news, everyone that wanted to kind of mess with my mental hygiene. And I was like, no. You stay over there, I'll stay over here. Life will be amazing. Because here's what I realized is that people were spending so much time doom scrolling, right? They're on the internet, they're on, news pages, and they're just reading after like bad thing after bad thing after bad thing. And they're wondering why they're miserable. They wonder why they can't find their purpose. They wonder why they don't know what their motivation is. They don't know what their passion is. Well, unfortunately, their passion has become doom scrolling. So I kind of want you to check yourself before you wreck yourself and make sure that there's no doom scrolling and that you are only focused on the things that fill your tank. The other thing that I noticed, and this will be very relevant to all of you, is I kind of want to know, what's your keyboard personality? Because we all of a sudden had to quickly jump to the keyboard. There was no more face-to-face unless you were Zooming or FaceTime, but there was a lot of this going on, right? Emails and texts, and it kind of became our norm and how we were communicating with each other. But instead of like, good morning, so good to hear from you. How are you today? I need your help with this. It was, I need this. Get me this. Do you have this? I was like, whoa, what happened to like, good morning, hello, have a great week, how are you, can I help? It just was like, now, do it, get this, don't know, can't help you. And I was like, whoa. So I hope that, again, this is all around your mental and how you hold yourself, and to be careful what 2020 kind of bred for us is that what is your keyboard personality? And again, I want you to check yourself. So all day, I want to see like love in your emails. Get crazy. I use it all day long, right? Like love, so good to see you. You're delicious. You're amazing. I needed your help. Thank you. Imagine what you're going to do if you were to make that simple shift. Because here's the deal. You decide every day how you're going to show up. You decide when you get up in the morning, you decide if you're going to be happy, if you're going to be angry, if you're going to be sad, if you're going to be resentful, if you're going to be depressed, not the outside world, unless you let it, unless that's what you take in, and then you decide that's who you are. You have to understand that you decide. And here in a minute, I'm going to show you my little tips and tricks on how I decide, because you have to know that everything is with you. You heard me at the very beginning say, stop looking outside, stop waiting for everything else. It's all within you. It all depends on what you have decided and how you treat yourself. So here are my kind of things that I guard when it comes to me. This is kind of my foundation of who I am as a human and how I stay within my lane of purpose, passion, and motivation. And that they're just really simple, right? Guard what you're watching and listening to. I am so picky, you wouldn't even know. If you are negative, if you are mean-spirited, if you are full of anger or fear, you will not come across my screen, my phone, my television, any of it. I understand that I have to fill my tank all day long. So the things that do come in front of me are very purposeful. They are to fill my tank, to keep this straight. How about breathe? Do you realize that our Apple Watches, and I don't have mine on right now, it's charging evidently. Our Apple Watches tell you to breathe. Do you know why? It's because we are holding on to the steering wheel so tight, and we're so busy, and we have so much to do, and we're stressed out. Those are all things you tell yourself, by the way, is that you've forgotten to breathe, to get still, to calm down, to take a break, to refocus, to stop going down that lane of that, right? Focus on the positive. I will tell you the 20 things I learned list that if you download, you'll see. I have to tell you, the positive for me during COVID is I spent more time with my family than I ever would. I'm an empty nester, and both my boys came home from college. That was a gift. I would have never had that normally happen. So to me, COVID was a very good experience from that aspect. Do what you can. Stop talking about all the things you can't do. I don't want to hear about that. No one cares. No one cares what we can't do during COVID. No one cares anything that's changed or what you want back or different. No one cares. All that matters is doing what you can. I hope, because I know that you touch and talk and help a lot of people, and I hope that you realize that part of your purpose, passion, and motivation, in my opinion, as you're getting them loans or you're refining or whatever you're doing, is that you're lifting others. You're helping them understand that you are helping them with one of the biggest decisions of their life, right? And then, like I said, this pandemic home thing and how important that is. And then look at this, number 7, you're already doing, you're helping others. Do you understand what that does to your makeup if you let it, right? Be the light. We have enough darkness and rainy clouds around us and people who are trying to like rain on our parade. Not you. Not you. I want you to be the light. I want you to show the way. You know, I wrote an entire book called You Go First as a Leader, right? Like everyone wants someone to step up and be the one. And I'm like, I want you to be the one. I want you to go first. I want you to show me the way. If I hung out with you today, would I be pumped? Would I be jacked? Would I be excited? Would I be like, oh, that person's the light? You decide. You have it all inside of you. But here's what I think that some people have done along this journey, along this way, is they've let all these other emotions and things and negative self-talk and all these things come at us that they've forgotten to love you, right? So if I want you to really love you, that's when that's the most important thing that you could do. Because when you love yourself, right, and all the gifts and talents that you've been given, when you love yourself and you're happy with your potential and everything that you have and you are, because there's only one of you, do you realize that it changes everything? It changes your family, it changes the community, it changes the team that you work with, because you treat them differently, because you're happy and you're loved and it starts with you. So I always say, it's literally one of the most important things that you could do. So could you just stop for a second and give yourself a break and quit beating yourself up on your schedule or what you don't have or what you want to do or what you wish you had or whatever someone said or you wish you were something different? Could you just stop? I just want to appreciate you right now. I just want you to, I don't even know you, but I'm pretty sure I just know that you're amazing. So just kind of let that sink in and ride with you all day and then say it again in the morning, right? So in the morning, I start with a couple affirmations and they're super simple and I'll share them with you. Are you ready? So the first one I say is, I am happy. I am healthy. I am wealthy. And I mean that in all areas. I want to be wealthy in love. I want to be wealthy in money. I'm a businesswoman, people, right? I want to be wealthy in my relationships. I want to be wealthy in my knowledge. I want to be healthy in my body. I want to be healthy in my marriage. I want to be healthy as a parent, right? And same thing with happy. Do you realize those are like the three? I love those. And I hope that you'll pick them up as well, because here's the deal. The number one indicator of your happiness is this. You have to be incredibly happy with who you are and what you have. Because if you'll just do me this one favor for 1 second, and I can't see you and I wish I could, will you just close your eyes for a minute for me? We just literally just close your eyes. And I'm going to say a couple things while your eyes are closed, but you need them closed in order for them to like really sink in. So happiness is wanting what you have. Happiness is wanting what you have been given. You've been given a body, a life, a mindset, a set of knowledge, a set of experiences. It's only for you. So if I could get you to love you, and let me put it into perspective for you. Do you realize that right here, right now, you are someone's goal weight? Someone wishes they weighed what you weighed. I put that in the simplest of terms because it's so fun. Someone wishes they had your hair. Someone wishes they had your blue eyes, your brown eyes, your greens. Someone wishes that they could have your job. They've always wanted to be a loan officer. They've always wanted to own a mortgage company, but they haven't. So they really wish that they could. Someone wishes that they had your husband, that they had your wife. Someone right now is begging to be pregnant, so they wish to God they had your children. So do you understand that we as a society get so caught up in wishing and hoping for everything outside of us? We literally take for granted what's already inside of us, everything that we have and what makes us special. You can open your eyes back up again. I hope that it put into you like some kind of impact and understanding of how amazing you are. And that when you're on this hunt for purpose, passion, and motivation, be clear. It is inside of you, because this is what it's all about. Life isn't about finding yourself. You're not out here frantically searching, right? Ever under nook and cranny and every under door rug or whatever, right? No. You're not lost, friends. You're not lost. Here's the deal. Life is about creating yourself. Okay, if I could tell you, you have to understand that you're a work in progress and that you literally are going to go through life and you're going to keep growing, right? And changing and learning. At least that's the goal, right? One of my first books was called Better Human. It's a full-time job because I knew that I was far from done. I wanted to be better. I still do today. I had a ton to do, right? On this journey of mine. And so I want you to understand that there's they always say it's the cheesiest of quotes, but once you let it sink in and you really get it, and this is what it says. Turns out life truly is about the journey and not the destination. I don't want to arrive anywhere. That means I'm done. That means that life is over for me, right? Like this is it. There's nothing left. I fully understand in this journey as I grow and change and learn that things are just going to become clearer. They're going to come better. They're going to come bigger, right? Like all those things, as long as I continue to fill my tank, as long as I understand that this life is a process and a journey, right? Happiness is wanting what I have. But while I'm loving what I am and what I have, I'm also pushing myself to learn, to grow, and to do. If you keep those three things front and center, game changer when it comes to purpose, passion, and motivation, because when you're learning and growing and doing, those three words magically show up. But when you don't learn, when you don't grow, and you sit there and you wait for everything magically to come to you, it doesn't. And then you wonder where the hell it is. It's inside of you, folks. This just in. So the word that's going to be talked about over and over and over and over and over again when you think of 2020 is going to be accelerate. And you could tie that back to the Learn, Grow, Do, by the way. So they said this: businesses in 2020 are going to accelerate one way or the other. If they choose to adapt to this current market and shift and everything going on, then their business results will accelerate. And I have no doubt that for all of you in 2020, that's what happened. If you choose not to accelerate, right? If you choose, I'm not going to change, I'm not going to grow, I refuse to do anything new, forget it, I want to keep everything old and the same, then you will accelerate out of business. So I want you to think about that. When you think of yourself, are you accelerating in your knowledge, in how you're operating, what you're doing, how you're looking at things, how you process a loan, everything? That should have changed, I'm assuming, in order for you to learn, grow, and do. Right? Like that's literally, I love the word accelerate. It's like one of my absolute favorites because that's the look I'm going for. I just want to make sure I'm accelerating in the right direction. I read this amazing book and I highly recommend it. So it's the CEO of Walt Disney, right? That had to be an amazing job hanging out with Mickey all day. And here's the deal. It's called The Ride of a Lifetime. Look it up. It's actually almost better as an audible listen. He does the whole book and it's stunning. But I loved this quote. You have two choices, just two. You have two choices: adapt and prosper, or fight and perish. It's simple. And that's really what life's about, right? Are you going to like fight on everything and say no and complain about everything and refuse to change, refuse to try new things, refuse to come to this new like way of operating? Or are you going to adapt? I say adapt, pivot, and then, of course, prosper, because that's the look we're going for. So I told you at the beginning, we had four words for COVID. And then we also said, what can we do? What can we do in 2020 and 21 with everything that's going on? And this is what we said. We said, we can improve what we do, because man, did we ever. Find new and better ways, and we can keep pushing forward. I can't tell you how many times in this building, and we've been in business for a really long time, how many times over the last year in this building I have heard this statement: why didn't we do this sooner? Why didn't we do this sooner? Like, it took COVID for us to do this. So I jumped over to your website and I loved, like, it showed that you're on a laptop, that you can do everything, digitally, virtually, fast. And that made my heart so happy. So kudos to you. And obviously my crew loves you. So makes my heart so happy to know that you are all doing that as a company. So all I have is claps for you, for sure, on that. And then can I just talk for just a hot second? 3 keys to your success, in my opinion. If I was in the mortgage business, these are the 3 things I would focus on. And I wanted to share it with all of you because I know we're like-minded peeps. So I knew it would be important. So 1, I want you to focus on you. You knew I was going to say it, right? What kind of knowledge are you pouring in here? What are you listening? What are you reading? What are you watching? So I want you to go out there and only listen to the best. Go find people you admire. Go find, people in the industry. How about I follow a lot of people outside of my industry. So for example, I'll give you an example. TourNow, our automated locks to get into our homes. Truly, in my opinion, that all was because of Airbnb. If Airbnb can put a lock on a home and you can get in it, by God, you can get into one of our model homes, right? So that's kind of how that started. How about buy online? I would tell you that was because of Carvana. I thought Carvana, if you haven't been to Carvana's website, go. And you can buy a car anywhere, anytime, in your jammies, 9 p.m., and that thing just rolls up in like 3 or 4 days. What? I knew that we could sell homes online. But the only reason I knew all of that is because I watch trends. I'm very curious. I said I read way too many Curious George books as a kid. So I'm always watching everything. So I want to know, what are you doing to get better? What are you doing to be your best? What are you doing to feed your purpose and your passion and your motivation? Because when you're working on you, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. And then the second thing in your life, I don't know where you all stand with all of this, but I have been on so many national panels recently as a guest speaker, and almost every panel talks about that videos of yourself is king. Videos, content is king. We all are starving for your face and some sort of connection, and we need to see you in action. Why do you think TikTok's so popular? Instagram Reels, Facebook Lives, these videos, everything that we're doing is because we're all starving for it. We want to see a face, right? Like if it was socially acceptable and you were all here, I would totally kiss your faces right now. Corey knows it. He knows I would on that girl, right? So videos of you show us the magic. Show us you. We want to fall in love with you, not just the service you're providing. And remember, I already told you you're amazing, you're delicious, so you're ready. The third one I would say is connect. So again, what's your keyboard personality? Have you showed them who you are in a video? Have you made a relationship? Have you made a connection? Because that's the game changer in this time. And it's been this way. This isn't new for COVID, but more so now than ever, we need a connection. We can't feel like a number. We got to feel like a connection. So this is my favorite quote for 2021. Stop looking back, because we're not going that way. So when I hear someone say, oh, I just wish we could do that again. I wish that would come back. I wish we had that. I'm like, why? Stop looking back. We're not going that way. We're going forward, right? Like just, Instead, what I want you to do is take a second and scan the world for the win. So in 2020, I would love for you to write down all the wins. I know you had so many of them, but instead you're probably focused on how busy and overworked and stressed possibly, and the media and anger and fear and COVID, and your favorite restaurant got taken away and you can't have a drink in a bar, or whatever is in your kitchen right now, right? Like you're thinking of all these hard things. And what I want you to do in order to keep your purpose, your passion, and your motivation first place, you need to scan the world for the wins on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, if that's what it calls, because you're having a bad hour, on a monthly, right? Like our team, I love this, Tara on my crew. So she creates a monthly win document. So January already started. She lists out anywhere from 5 to 10 things that were a win for the month, for her, for our team, for our departments. Literally every manager does it, by the way. And so what happens is that when you sit down at the end of the month or at a quarterly or to review, you're like, man, we did some amazing things. And I almost forgot about that. So we call it our win document. So I hope that you scan your world for wins, because when you do, you start stacking up more, because that's what you're on the hunt for. And that's what you're excited about. So I'm going to share Doc Amen's, Dr. Daniel Amen is a doctor I follow. He's a brain doctor. He's a brain doctor. So if you don't follow him, please do. He has TED Talks, he has books, he's got a great Instagram feed. And he gave this routine. It's his own personal routine that he does in the morning and he does at night. Now I do it and I want to share it with all of you, because if it's good enough for a brain doctor, it's good enough for me. I'll tell you that much. And here's what he says. Every morning when you wake up, okay, so we're laying in bed, we're just getting up. Don't you dare grab that cell phone. Don't you dare. I swear to God. Put that cell phone down, just lay there for a second, close your eyes, and just do this with me. It's going to be a great day. I want you to say it 3 times. It's going to be a great day. And then on the 3rd time, I want you to say this. This was me today. It's going to be a great day because I get to hang out with the PMR crew. It's literally what I said. I was so excited, right? So you set your intention for the day, you set your energy, and everything is moving in the right direction. Instead, most people wake up, grab their cell phone. Oh God, I've got 500 emails. I got shit to do. This person texted me, their hair's on fire. I got to do this. I got to do that. And then they fly out of bed and you're like, oh, right. And I'm like, no, that's not the look we're going for. That's not the look we're going for. I want the look that says, you know what? I'm going to breathe. I'm going to, I pray. I have a big prayer. I've got a lot of gratitude in my heart. So it's going to be a great day. I pray. I do my gratitude. I get up. And then at some point I grab my emails and I get going. I want you to just do small hacks to help you with your motivation, your purpose, and your passion. And then at the end of the day, are you ready for this? At the end of the day, this is what I would like for you. You're in bed, you're getting ready to go to sleep. And before you do, you are going to ask yourself this question: what went well? Don't think about all the things you didn't get done. Don't think about all the problems. Those are going to be there. Those are going to happen. Who cares? They're going to be there tomorrow. I guarantee you that, right? Who cares? I want to know what went well for you so that we go get more of those tomorrow. So 2 tricks for you. I hope you use them. They are game changers, in my opinion. So here's the deal. Your greatest predictor of success is your level of optimism about you, about your life, about your career, your marriage, your kids, whatever it is, based on the level of your optimism. And the only way you're going to protect that are about all these things that I talked about and how you fill your tank, right? How you think about yourself, how you light are you a light during the day? Do you bring all your energy? What does that look like? So if you are worried about your success level in any area of your life, I want to check your optimism level. What does that look like? Because here's the deal. I want us to come out of this stronger, better, and even more grateful, right? Like think about all the things that, we couldn't do in 2020, like travel, right? Like I love to travel. So now I'm like, oh my God, I will never take that for granted again. Like, I just thought that was something normal that we could all do, but it became a real, right? Like privilege and wow. And how blessed were we and everything, right? Before this whole 2020. So here's what I want you to know. If we could just look at it and say, man, look at everything that I learned. Look at everything that I took for granted and I'll never do again. My wish and hope for you is that be great. Your purpose, your passion, your motivation, it's inside of you. You were born with it. I just want you to pull it out. It kind of gets like, right, you have all these things happening and it kind of just like this. And I'm saying, no. Go inside, go deep, fill yourself with the right stuff. You're doing amazing things. I'm so incredibly grateful for all of you. Man, I've loved our time together. All I have is big love and big gratitude for all of you. PMR, Corey, Mandy, Jack, all of them. Sal, thank you.
Thanks, Rhonda. Love it. Every time. I love it. Thank you so much. I hope you took notes. I take a lot of notes. There's always great takeaways when she speaks. So those are things we should be using in our daily lives. It will make a difference. All the questions I had for you already answered. I had a few, so I'm not going to, I think you go back and look at your notes. Every single one of them was answered. So I'll just shut up and say, thank you so much. Love you. Take care. Hope to see you next time. Hope to see you in person soon, by the way.
Yes, me too. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye. Jack, you're back.
Yep. Well, thank you, Mr. Swain. Thank you, Ms. Conger. That truly was a thought-provoking presentation and conversation. I know I can speak for my PMR colleagues when I say we felt lucky when we heard Rhonda would return this year. Our feelings were spot on. That was spectacular. Thank you again, Rhonda. Thank you. And I'd like to take the time now to offer a formal invitation to the 2 remaining Success 2021 events. Loan officers, agents, builders, your attendance is important to us. We hope to see you at both. Remember, you can visit our Facebook page to share the events. Do not forget these dates. March 23rd, Mr. Marcus Murphy, Overcoming the Stigma of Sales. April 6th, Mr. Kevin Wong, Financial Wellness, Planning for the Ups and Downs of the Markets. And I also would like to take the time to thank all of our sponsors: Partners Credit, Controller Consulting Services, Advanced AMC, Byte, Flowify, National MI. Thank you all. Without your support, Success 2021 would be less successful. In closing, PMR, contributors, and esteemed guests, thank you again for your time and efforts today. Hope to see you all again on March 23rd. Remember, success breeds success. This ends our scheduled events for the day. Thank you for your attendance.